wanting her attention, and she's on the computer till 7, 8 o'clock at night. There's no dinner sometimes. So that would spark up controversy.
Because I did deal with that difficult client. Now I'm like, bring it on. Like, I'm ready to tackle whatever needs to come.
And I'm the one that had my guard up because, you know, it was a big change, right?
Welcome to another episode of the Realist Podcast, where we have the cream of the crop, the best and the brightest real estate professionals in the Houston area. And today we have the Refuge Group Properties, Anna and Chuy. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I knew we had to have you guys on because besides being one of our top clients, you guys are just killing it in the Houston area. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Okay, so to start off, you guys started teasing me a little bit with your back end story, but I was telling you that in my family we have musicians. Chuy, I did not know you were a musician.
Yeah,
Tell me about
years.
it. That's crazy.
We started off as a backyard band, and then we ended up going to like a semi-professional level.
Wow.
So it was cool.
That's amazing. Tell me a little bit about it. Anna, tell me from your perspective.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't in the band, but I was in the back watching, and it was fun. It was fun while it lasted, you know?
Yeah.
We met a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
We had our kids during that time. So
Wow.
it was...
What was the lifestyle like?
Crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah. Always out at night owls.
Yeah.
Going to different places, meeting new people. We got to know Houston really well from all the clubs they used to play at.
Oh, wow. That's
so that
crazy.
was, it was fun. It was fun, but it was, how can I say, like a dramatic? No. I don't know. I guess you give your perspective. It was dramatic in my life.
Yeah, when I decided to stop, that was the hardest part of our relationship because we literally stopped going out. But that was the only way for me to get away from it, was to not go and stay away from it, for me to stay away from the music game.
Yeah. Why did you have to stay away from it?
Because I love doing it so much. So me going to see him was like I wanted to get on stage.
Yeah.
You know, so I sold everything and
never
looked back.
We were having baby number 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a girl, so he said, "This is it. I'm gonna stop."
Wow, that's amazing.
Because I think we had the trial with baby 1 with Adam, and it was definitely hard.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of lost time.
Yeah.
And then moving on, you know, because it just got to where it was a plateau.
Yeah.
We weren't moving up financially,
Mm-hmm.
and we needed something different. So I'm glad it's in the past.
Yeah. The moment I stopped the music in the music business, we had a trucking business for about 9 years.
Oh, what?
Right after
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. So you drove a truck.
I did.
And you organized it like you were the broker, or how did you do that?
I've done real estate since I was, 19?
Okay,
20?
okay.
So just encouraging them to do. My father is in the truck driving business. He's been in it for 40 plus years. So I'm like, sure, my dad did it. You can do it too, you know?
For sure.
Well, just seeing how successful he was, or he is, you know, how many properties they own and stuff like that was an inspiration. My mother-in-law's never worked.
Yeah.
She's been a stay-at-home mom. So that was a goal. But Anna stood strong in real estate and
She's
brought
like,
me
I'm
along.
not staying at home.
And brought me along.
Now I keep saying, when are you going to retire me?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So we're working on that.
Take us into that transition into real estate. You were doing real estate since 19. So during this music venture of Chuy's and the trucking, you were still doing real estate.
Yes.
When did he come along? Bring me into your real estate story.
Jesus, I feel like it's recent. 6 years ago. I mean, it's 6 years, but from when I started, I think we never envisioned, because he was, the one that took care of the household financially. So real estate was very up and down for me initially. It took me a long time to get to where I am. So when I finally got comfortable and set some systems in place, I started growing. I did about 80 sales by myself.
Wow.
I was able to hire an admin, and at that point, I'm like, I need help. I can't do this on my own.
Yeah, for sure.
So I said, I'm gonna look to hire someone, and I've got a couple people that I'm thinking about. And he said, well, why don't you hire me?
Well, at that
And I
point, my
looked at
business
him.
was, my trucking
Yeah.
business was up and down. It rained a lot in Houston. So when it rained, we couldn't get the trucks in.
Yeah.
So I was off, if it rained today, I was off the following day and maybe, the following day after that. So
That's crazy.
there was a lot of time off. I would linger around the office at that point. At that time she had her office. And I would just listen into her conversations and I would question her.
Yeah, you were
Okay, what-
picking up on things.
Well, I was trying to because she would shut me down because she was so busy. And I'm like, hey, explain what type of conversation.
Why do you want to hear it? Like, I've been talking all day. I'm tired. I don't want to explain it. But, he picks up fairly quickly. That's the one good thing about him is he learns fast. And if he loves it, all those relationships he created.
Yeah.
Like, now we see it. He had to go through all those steps to be here. Because all the people that he's met, have become our clients and or very good friends. So
God put me in the right place,
Yeah.
more than anything. To
I
meet,
love that.
meet all these people and now it's transitioned to our business where we're at now.
Because real estate is, like they say, it's the biggest cliche, all about relationships, right?
is.
And so Chuy was able to bring in a lot of that part of the business, right?
Yeah.
That's
He
cool.
loves to create relationships. It's just it comes natural. I'm more of the quiet, like, just listening to what they're saying.
Yeah.
So that definitely brought a big, big strength in our business.
I love it. I love it how y'all complement each other. That's
Yep.
amazing. Okay, so tell me some of the different things that have been happening. I remember, I think last Christmas, so like 2022, we saw you said you were turning 20 years old. It was a big celebration. The brokerage was turning 20. Y'all were doing a big brand name change.
No, just me.
Ju-
Not 20 years old, but 20 years in the business. So it was a big milestone.
Yes, I love it. And then y'all were creating Refuge Group or like changing it, brand name change?
So we started a brokerage, me and a group of friends and or an investor in an area. So we were open for 5 years. When that decided to close that down, then we were interviewing different companies. And at that point, once you're a broker. You don't go back to just being a regular licensed agent. And so we were celebrating that and the transition of just starting fresh. Because being a broker, I think we reached about 30 agents in the company. And, a lot of agents were part-time or it wasn't really their full-time job. And for me, it was. So that became a bit of a struggle in making a decision as to, well, do I maintain a broker with agents underneath me, or do I move on to just dedicating my time to our business and really focusing on that? And so in conversations with the people around me that work with me and that I like to talk to about when changes like this happen, they're like, just focus on you now, grow that, and then you can move on to if you want to open up your own company or whatever it is. And so I went that route, and we were 5 years with Keller Williams.
Wow.
And we definitely input systems. We worked on our database a lot more because that's where, at the end of the day, that's where all our business was coming from. So really putting some effort into getting that updated.
I love that. And for a more tactical advice, like if some new agents are listening, what does that mean, working your database?
So having a system in place where you actually keep track as leads are coming in, or adding those people that surround you and give you business. So family, friends, it's just another way of keeping track of where to get business from. Because you can get business from social media, you can cold call, you can work, call expireds, you can go for sale by owners, but your database is a whole nother.
Open houses.
Yeah.
But for us, our database is it's our strength. That's where 90% of our business comes from.
Wow, I love that. And even most of y'all's, I imagine, as friends and family, right? Y'all's database. I have recently started doing goals of putting reminders on my phone. And I feel like that's the type of database, like to call grandma whenever it's her birthday or text my husband whenever it's his birthday. No, I'm just kidding. Buy a birthday gift on time whenever it's. But I think that's kind of what you do with your database. Like, it's friends and family. We have to treat them with love and respect, but we also can't have a million things in our mind. So we have to have things to remind ourselves to do certain.
We also put in, somebody in place, Belinda, which is a big part of our business.
Yes.
To do things like that for us, So we leveraged our business that way, to put her in place, to take care of our clients as well.
I love that. Yeah.
So on their 1 year anniversary, so just a little bit of the things that we do on the 1 year anniversary, that's a big thing for us. We deliver a champagne bottle with the picture of their closing and an anniversary card. Yeah. We will send out birthday cards with the lotto ticket in it.
Oh, nice.
We try to add different things. I mean, we have our 3 events throughout the year now. We started with our Christmas event every year. Now we do our kids movie event during the summer, and then an adult, kind of like at a bar, just a little.
Oh, that's nice. I love it. Reaching the different, the different demographics. Like for the kids ones, you're reaching a lot of your families. For the adult one, if they want to take a date night, or if you're with your old musicians, I'm sure they love that. Yeah.
Yes. So we try to spread love that way. Of course, we have all kinds of mailers and calls, and when we have birthday parties, even, we're always trying to include everyone.
That's awesome.
To come and join
us.
Oh
my gosh. Those are some expensive birthday parties.
But we do have a lot of friends and family that continue giving, right? It's just one. Yeah. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
They constantly refer us, sending us their family, their friends, their coworkers, and we take care of them, and then it just continues to travel after that,
Yeah.
I think the biggest factor of the event is that if people are on the verge, like if they're on the edge, not the verge, the edge of, I don't know. They say they do all these things, but do they do all these things? I'm that person too. If somebody says, well, I do da 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 da, and I'll sit back and I'm like, well, I gotta see. I gotta see it for myself. Yeah. So when some of these people show up to the event and they see the magnitude of people there and or the conversations that are happening, they're like, oh, so okay, you guys really do
they are the real deal.
Yeah.
And so I've seen that happen at the events, and that I'm like, this is why we do it, because for those that don't really have that full trust in us yet, that kind of seals the deal for them.
Wow, I love it. That's powerful. That's powerful. Okay, so in 2023, y'all made a big brokerage change. Some things happened to your team, like growth. Tell me about everything that's been happening.
Well, we made a transition to a new company.
Okay.
Which we weren't fully, saying we need a shop. Yeah. Right? But we got a call, and at the end of 2022, we said, well, we want to open that luxury division. We know what we bring to the table. We know how many families we can help every year, but we want to open up this little window avenue of the luxury side. And so we're very nervous and scared, and we had many conversations about that. Sat down with the company owner, and she made us feel very, very comfortable.
I'm not going to lie. Anna was already sold. She was like, we're just going for coffee.
I'm like, look.
She had her pen ready to sign. And I'm the one that had my guard up because, it was a big change, right? You go from changing brokerages, changing faces, changing just systems. So I felt that was going to put our business back a little bit, because change does that sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, we hit the ground running. We had our first $6 million buyer that reached out and was referred to us.
That's amazing.
And it's just been nonstop after that.
We've had a couple listings. Yeah. We've worked with builders and positions that we didn't think we could. Or if we look back, we wouldn't have been able to have done that by ourselves. Yeah. So it's definitely opened up a lot of doors. We've met a lot more people. And that's the thing. Every change is scary, but once you're there, you're just like, well, I would have never met them if we wouldn't have made this transition. So, but in addition to that, we've recently hired 3 new Well, one is a more seasoned agent, but two of them are like 6 months in.
Wow, that's
I wasn't
exciting.
expecting to do.
Yeah.
But keep being pushed out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
and I love them.
Oh,
They're
I love
amazing.
it.
They've been shown. They show up. They do what they say they're gonna do. Which, I know. Like I tell them, life is hard, and it's not always gonna be easy. But as long as you maintain consistent and you show up,
Yeah.
we're gonna be just fine.
And that's so amazing that y'all have given them the opportunity, because just seeing you guys, the amount of transactions that you're doing, the work, the systems that you have, like we've mentioned before, that is going to help them grow 10 times faster than under
Them trying to
anybody
do it by
else, or
themselves.
trying to
Yeah.
do it by themselves. Yeah. So that's really awesome that y'all are growing in that way and also pouring into new people.
Yes.
So tell me about last year. I know a lot of people say that it's been a slow market, a down market. How was it for you guys?
I maintained, but we made sure that even through the ups and downs, we maintained consistent. We didn't take vacations at the end of the year. We try to just stay relevant, continue to make our calls. Being in the office, because the office slows down in most companies, right? You don't see a lot of people there. So we picked up some referrals from just, being there. Still meeting our team. Every morning we have a Zoom call. We call it a little 30-minute huddle.
Yes.
And we'll just talk about fires of the day or what concerns they have or what they want to learn that week, the new transactions that we have. And that has helped. That actually we started during COVID because we
Wow,
couldn't
that's
meet,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
So then this whole Zoom thing came along and I'm like, well, let's continue it because
Yeah,
everyone,
for sure.
sometimes people are working from home and not everybody can always meet. But that's been a big game changer for us, is having that morning huddle and making sure that we're always staying in communication with each other.
I love it. And what about in transactions or with clients? Any good things, bad things from this past year?
We've had goods and bads.
Yeah.
But, the bads for me have really helped me, I think, elevate where I'm not scared because I did deal with that difficult client. Now I'm like, bring it on. Like, I'm ready to tackle whatever needs to come.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's just the negative ones break me out of my shell. And then
I
I'm like,
love it.
okay, now I can handle being stronger in front of, maybe another stronger personality. So that's what I've taken out of the negative.
We did have, buyers on the fence, and then the interest rates went up, so it was a little bit more difficult to put them under contract.
Yeah.
But then at that point, I felt like our business shifted as well because we started picking up a lot more listings.
Yeah.
And again, they thought they held out for a little bit longer than what we anticipated. But as soon as they started coming down, we started seeing them, go under contract.
Yeah.
But it
So
helped us keep afloat, stay afloat.
do interest rates have a lot to do with what your buyers and sellers, I'm sure they do, with what decisions they take? How do you educate your clients to be able to overcome anything that they're trying to, so that they can accomplish their life goals?
So we get creative.
Yeah.
Whether if we're working with the buyer and we're asking, the seller to help, buy down their interest rates, or even talking to the lender to see how they can help us on their end to get these buyers under contract. And then on the selling side, we educate them about the market as far as, what buyers are looking for, their scarce, and then coaching them through to getting them off of off the market.
Yeah.
But
So we do meet with our buyer. We have a buyer's consultation. And I think during that time, we not only get to meet in person, because a lot of these conversations are being done on the phone.
Yeah.
And most people, they'll take the information, but they're not comfortable. So I feel that when we meet in person, it's a lot more effective. So we do try to help them get pre-qualified. And then we meet. That way we can really talk about numbers and then see the different scenarios.
Yeah.
Explaining to them, hey, I'm a first-time buyer. I want a down payment assistance. And then we actually like to look at one with assistance and one without, because the rates are different. Like, really trying to educate them in those, so they can make a better decision. Because a lot of times they think, oh, it's free, I'm getting it. In some cases, the rates are fair or less, but recently the rates have been extremely higher than standard. So just showing them that, I think, really goes a long way too.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, they're really trying to help me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For
So
sure.
that's helped us a lot. Buyer consultations and the listings, we'll sit down we've had a lot of, hey, I want to sell my house to buy another. And that alone is a whole transition. So we deal with that all the time. So we sit with them and say, hey, what are the worst case scenarios? How can we prep you for a worst case scenario? But these are the best case scenarios. Yeah. And so as we're going through the process, then they don't feel as scared to make a decision.
We are professionals with divorces as well. Like as many divorces that we did.
I imagine that must be awful.
You know, because we have a team, it works out really well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll relate more with one, he relates with the other. And so we keep the peace that way.
I love it.
And so always maintain the communication separate. Our admin, same thing, they know, like one communication, you got to do the same communication. So being fair with both parties, regardless of if one says a negative thing, you don't take that information back. We're the neutral party. We got to make this to the closing table.
Yeah, we got to make it work.
So we've, you know, there's some struggles, but again, you learn and it helps for the next deal.
I love it. And whenever people come to you guys or whenever your clients refer y'all, they already know, like, Chuy and Anna are experienced. They have worked with all sorts of people. Like, they're going to, and if they haven't, they're going to figure it out. Just like how they've figured out a lot of other things. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's move on to some 3 final questions, and then I'm going to do my icebreaker, which I always forget to do it in the beginning. But let's see if you guys know each other well after how many years of marriage?
15.
15. Oh, Chuy, you're winning.
I always think.
Point for Chuy.
You got it right.
Don't ask me the date. I know it's April either 5th, 8th, or 9th.
The 8th.
The 8th. You see?
That's hilarious.
We missed our 15th year anniversary, by the way.
No way.
Yeah, we were working. We got home that day and we were super tired. We're laying in bed. And I got a phone call from my mom telling me happy anniversary.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I look at Anna, I'm like, today's our anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Hey, at least you were the one to tell her, right?
The reminder. Yeah.
That's
no
crazy.
gift.
That is true devotion to work. But at least both of you guys were like in the work, and it was like,
okay. It wasn't something we did intentional, but
I'm still waiting on my gift.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna owe her 2 gifts for this year. Okay, what is one of your? And I'm gonna ask. Let me see. I'll ask both of you. So one answers first. What's your favorite or your most important past failure that has led to success now?
What did I say earlier? I forgot.
Our marriage.
You had said being scared of change. You had said.
Yeah.
Our marriage.
He walked away.
He's like, I'm not getting in this.
Yeah, I think being scared of change and not asking, I guess asking people that are doing better than I am, being too afraid to ask them for help or asking of their advice. So I was just winging it. So the fact that we're at a company now that I'm like taking full advantage. Like, oh, you know this? Okay, help me. How do I get here? What do we need to do for this? And they'll partner up with us to do it. So they don't just, leave you alone. So that was a big factor for me is change is scary, but once you're there, you have to take advantage of it.
And you succeed so much faster whenever you take that step. You're courageous. What past failure have you encountered?
Oh, I got to say that I'm very confident. So, again, me asking questions, I'd rather wing it than, ask somebody. And especially turn around and ask her because I know that she's very busy as well. But no, we've been able to work through it and it's helped our business big time.
Yeah. Has there ever been a time where you haven't asked a question because maybe you were too confident and it went or I've had
our marriage.
We're
Yeah.
like, I should have asked for advice first.
We should have went to marriage conferences before we got married.
Okay, side question. How has it been working together? Because I know that working together is hard, but I recently heard the more that you are see somebody or connected with somebody, the closer you are. Of course, you are encountering all sorts of problems, but it helps to build you up. Whenever we're working a different job, I imagine the trucking business, you guys were in 2 different worlds.
Right.
Now you are in one world.
I never understood her schedule, right? So I was in the trucking and I'd get home or get to the yard and I'd turn the truck off, walk around it, check it, and my job was done with. And I'd get home wanting, her attention, and she's on the computer till 7, 8 o'clock at night. There's no dinner sometimes. So that would spark up
controversy.
Yeah, controversy. But up until I started understanding, because I got into real estate on how, what was going on, I was like, wow, it's a lot of work, So a lot of people get into that mindset. They see realtors and, they're making money, or they're, off at, happy hours and, all the good stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure if they're as successful as, we are, because of the amount of work that we're putting in.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard for us to step away from what we're doing to do those activities, but we make it work. And
I love it. Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
That's a really hard question to answer. It just depends on the day. I think that we have to leave things aside when we're at work. Mm-hmm. It's harder to take work problems aside at home.
Yeah.
So that's been a struggle. But when we hit a listing appointment, regardless of what our situation is, we knock it out.
Yes.
Let's go get this.
And then once we get back in the truck, it's like, don't talk to me.
I'm like, but we're just fine inside the home. We're laughing and giggling. Everything was good.
No, and we tell the team, like, one thing about Rosa, and I mean, everybody on our team is good about it, but one thing that she's taught us is you never bring your personal problems into the office, regardless of what it is. Yeah. So I did apologize to them. A couple weeks ago? I'm like, look, you guys are going to be working with us. So if you see me a certain way, don't take it personal. Sometimes I do get frustrated of what's happening, but it's not, I'm just apologizing
it's just different
in advance.
Seasons, It's like different seasons, like we have, months where everything's going great, and then, you have a little hiccup, and you have to learn how to leave that away from the business.
Yeah.
If not, then you'll see it in the business numbers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Where one of us will just let off, and I'm out golfing 2-3 times a week. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. Like you said, it balances out. You know, some months he may have more business than I do, but then I get to catch up on other things, and then vice versa. Or sometimes we're throwing things at each other, or we're finding now different avenues, because he wanted me to be his assistant, and I'm like, I can't be, like, there's so much going on. I can't, do these things. And yes, we complement each other very well, and I think we could definitely work that way, but we have a team. So we've got, so that those challenges have also come up to where we have to figure out, okay, if we need something done, who else can we go to, right? Mm-hmm. And so those are things we've set into play at the end of last year.
That's powerful.
She's made it clear that she's not my assistant. So
and she never wants
only
to
on
be.
the weekends.
Only on the weekends, I'm like, please
help me.
Please.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's awesome. But I love, I know, despite whatever struggles and things that we're having, I love always seeing you guys together and working together and laughing and then kicking each other in the truck or whatever. Yeah. But I love that, because we're a husband and wife team, and that encourages us that we can do it for however many years is possible. And that's the whole goal, for our kids to see us working together and not fighting together so much. But okay, what is something from your past that you can laugh about today? Something that you did, something that you said.
That I was never going to have a team again?
She did.
Yeah.
She did say
and
that.
now she's like, yeah.
No, it's just, everything was rolling so smoothly that I'm like, oh, I'm doing great. And then he's like, we need a team. I said, no, we don't. And then him and the owner of the company was like, no, you want to grow, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes. Oh,
and I already had somebody on the radar. I had a few that I had seen already in the office, and I was like, if we add someone to the team, like, I think they'd be really good. Mm-hmm. She's like, why do you say that? And I just, you get that feeling, that vibe whenever you see them.
And you see the hard work, the work ethic, the potential that they have.
But, and then I question them as well, like, hey, well, how's your business going? And that's whenever I got the response. It's like, well, we're stagnant. Like, we're not, I'm not closing as I wanted to. And they wanted to grow. So I was like, no, we can help you. Yeah. Join our team. What do you think?
Yeah. We have a leasing team. They
saw
specialize
that.
in
That
leasing.
is
So the two of the
cool.
girls that came along, they specialize in leasing, and so versus us not being able to work with our lease clients, right? We have that department, so it
That's
makes it
awesome.
easier
Yeah.
to maintain.
Yeah, so that y'all can take care of the client fully, right?
Yes.
And not.
Alicia and Gracie have grown as well. They've
I
done.
saw
A
that.
ton.
Yeah, they had a
Yes.
phenomenal year last year. Both of them.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so exciting. Okay, last one. What would you tell yourself as a new agent? I guess what are some things that you tell your agents now?
They
maybe?
have to do their database. Create your CRM from day one. And I've already seen it on some. They're like, well, I'm not that busy. That's when you're supposed to be working on and inputting and getting used to the fact of that. So they told me for years, you need a database. You need a database. I was like, well, for what? For what? For what? 10 years later, I'm like, I don't have a database.
Yeah.
And so just the thought of having to go back to who did I close, inputting that information was alone like scary. I'm like, I'm never gonna. Until finally, the girl that I was working with, she said, start today. Don't focus on the past for right now. Just start moving forward. Because if not, you're gonna go another 5 years in the same problem.
Yeah.
And so that for me was life changing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. What about you, Chuy?
I want to repeat the question.
What do you tell yourself as a new agent?
Talk to people. You know, build relationships. A lot of times it's not about trying to find a new buyer, a new seller. Build a relationship. Let them know what type of person you are, genuine. And eventually, this is a long-term race. You know, I know a lot of agents are out there looking for the next deal. But if you plant those seeds, you know, and you create those relationships, the business is going to come.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not just, like I said, you know, going after the next deal. Of course, people have to pay their bills. But you creating the relationship is it's gonna take you longer, you know, further in your business.
Okay.
So
I love it. I love it. That's super good. So everybody out there listening, all my new agents, make sure to listen up to these tips and actually implement them, because we listen, we consume, and we don't put anything into action, right? Okay. Yes.
So one more thing, I wanted to just add on to, you know, a lot of times at first we were kind of afraid to tell people about our business, just because I felt like we had something so good that why would I want to tell everybody our secrets, right? On how to sell real estate or how to build your business. But in reality, 90% of the people who are going to hear this podcast or hear, you know, other people giving them advice, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother us anymore and people have helped us, you know, but we've been able to implement things that they've told us, not everything. But if you just grasp that one thing and you use it, it'll take you a long way.
I love it. I love it. So icebreaker questions. Yeah, to end it off. And this is going to be challenging because Anna, I'm asking, and you have to answer for Chuy. Oh. And then Chuy, you have to answer for Anna. Let's see how well y'all know each other after 15 years. Okay, if y'all could choose coffee or soda.
Soda.
Coffee.
Yeah. Okay. Vacation in the beach or in the mountains?
Beach.
I would say beach because she's never been to the mountains.
Y'all have to go to Colorado or something, or y'all don't like the cold, the snow.
I'm not. First if it's
elevation
70 degrees,
problems over here.
Okay.
We're not doing it. Yeah.
He overthinks it, so then I overthink it, and I'm like, okay, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That's
I'm a heavyset guy, so I'm gonna have problems out there. You know, like
I guess so. This question, maybe I might already know the answer
to. Beach and we're good.
Go on plane or take a road trip?
Road trip.
Road trip.
Yeah. For
I think
both of you guys?
I'm gonna be in the mix. I think I definitely prefer to do plane, but the more I see TikToks and the videos, I'm like kind of scared to get on the plane now. Like, oh,
oh no! Don't tell us that. We're going tomorrow.
no, you're gonna be just fine.
Okay, last one. Houston, for the Houston people, for the people that are listening that don't live in Houston, what do you guys prefer? To live downtown or the suburbs?
Well, I could say we've never lived downtown.
Okay.
We've always lived in the suburbs. We've always just liked more yard and more. I mean, you can get that downtown. It's just a whole different price point.
Yeah.
So I think I can't say one is better than the other. It just depends on your lifestyle.
But for you.
Oh, for me personally.
Or actually for Chuy.
If I could be myself and do what I want to do, I would be in a condo downtown.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Ooh.
totally.
Well, I was gonna say for her, yes, it would be
Condo.
condo downtown.
Okay.
But
So
for me, yeah, I'd be in the suburbs.
in the suburbs, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
need some space.
we're liking that too, especially now as a family. Maybe later on when we're older and without kids in the downtown. Maybe, I don't know. We haven't tried it yet, so.
So for COVID, we were really close. I mean, our house burned in 2020,
Yeah, that's crazy.
and she was like, "Hey, let's go to downtown." And I'm
Try
like,
it out.
The kids' school and in the gym because we go to certain gyms. So I'm like, no, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. The whole lifestyle, the
Yeah.
people around you too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you guys. We always love seeing you guys on social media, but now I had the honor of having you on my couch. So thank y'all for the time. This was fun to dive a little bit deeper into y'all's story. I know this was helpful for any agent that is listening. If they want to contact you, what could be the best place? Would you be interested in growing the team, or just maybe for a call to mentor them, guide them a little bit?
We're always happy to answer questions. I think that's one of the things that I wanted to share, especially the new agents. Watch who you talk to and who you ask for advice, because I thought about this the other day when I was talking to my agents. You know, depending on the situation, like you said, a lot of agents say, well, it's too slow. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. But you're your own person.
Yeah.
So just get a variety of opinions and then make your own choice what you want to do.
What's the best place to reach you guys?
I would say cell phone, text,
Okay.
or any social media platform.
Awesome,
We're everywhere.
awesome. Okay, so make sure to reach out, add all y'all's handles on there so that they can shoot y'all a DM. Well,
Awesome.
thank y'all so much, and it has been a pleasure.